3 years ago I said Hawthorn's list is the least list I'd like to have.
Opposition hate it because those who get to play Hawthorn twice are now seeing a skewed competition.
Rebuilding is a cop-out, but Sam Mitchell didn't have any option because Alistair Clarkson didn't believe in the draft, and the list that he took over
that part is
was
true,
a mess.
but Sam didn't need to cut
There's
so
a
deep.
generational player called Harley Reid who you're going to get number one.
They can't be thinking that now.
But they might be, Lordo,
At round
because
one, that's tanking.
It kills your culture, Kane.
They're certainly not in the business this year of trying to win as many matches as they can, and it's a form of tanking to what they've done this year.
I think it's offensive. I think for someone to question someone's integrity, which is what he's doing here. Sam's probably the most competitive person that I've ever come across, and to know him and to know the integrity of the Hawthorn Football Club, I just can't stomach that.
You know, our senior coach in Sam Mitchell was probably the most competitive person I've seen. To make a statement that this club isn't trying to win is absolutely ridiculous.
Confronting first 2 rounds for Sam Mitchell. He's been kind enough to join us. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How did you feel? Some heavy words in there. Tanking, or a form of tanking, skewed competition, questioning of your integrity. How does that make you feel when you see some of the commentary around some of those things?
I'd be a hypocrite if I said that I let the external things affect the inside, because I talk to the players all the time about controlling the controllables, and you know we can only deal with what's right in front of us, the game right in front of us, and it's important to have sustained success. For you have to have a long view and you have to make some decisions for the future. But certainly every single week, every day, we're trying to improve, we're trying to win, and we're trying to get better.
How long have you got, do you think? How long will you need, patience-wise, before the team is competitive, and how long do you think people will give you, patience-wise?
I don't know what the world says. I know that it can change reasonably quickly. I looked at, looking at some numbers. 2018, Melbourne finished second last, and Petrarca and Oliver and Viney and Brayshaw have all played around 30 games, and now they're the most formidable midfield in the competition. It was only 2020 Sydney, with their young brigade of midfielders were all, I think they finished 17th in that year. So it can turn around quickly, but we're in that phase right now. We knew there were going to be some tough days ahead with the list strategy that we've gone down, but there'll be some good days ahead as well. And because the first 2 rounds have been the tough ones, everyone's very focused on it. But we've got good days ahead as well.
So I think, Mitch, the question has never been, are you trying to win? Are the players trying to win? Are you trying to win? We know that you are, but the question in regards to tanking is, have you put yourself in a position that makes it near on impossible to win? Do you agree with that?
No, I don't agree with that. I think what was the alternative? We got together as a list management committee. There's Rob McCartney and Mark McKenzie and Richie Vandenberg at the time, now Luke McCabe, and we decided, okay, how can we build this club back to premiership success? And what can we do to get there? And the most viable option for us was to try and get young players together, to get a good list of young players and build them through together, and we're very much on that. We've had 2 rough games and we haven't played well, and we haven't played to the top of our capabilities, but we're going to win some games of footy this year.
Did you discuss Harley Reid in those meetings?
No, we haven't discussed Harley Reid.
So you've drawn criticism from the AFL, who are saying, some at the AFL are suggesting that whether they spoke to you or your footy manager or whoever they spoke to late last year warned you against stripping too deeply, and they're now frustrated. Did anyone at the AFL talk to you about this directly?
No, I heard you say that before I came on, and I was surprised because I don't think that AFL coaches or list management groups are spoken to by the AFL. I'm new to this, but it's not my understanding that they would be giving us advice on how to run our own list.
And you've talked about these good young guys, and you're hoping they might be 20 or 30 gamers now, and maybe they'll be like Petrarca, etc., in a few years' time. Doesn't it help to have Tom Mitchell running alongside them and giving them advice? Now, I understand why Jack Gunston left, and I gather that was largely personal. I think you wanted him to stay. But doesn't it help the culture of those younger players having the experienced older person, even if it does only mean it lifts you up the ladder 4 or 5 spots?
There is an argument, and I can justify away from that, though, reasonably easily, because if we had have kept Jager and Tom, it means that Will Day is not playing in the midfield, and he had a really good performance on the weekend. It means that young Mackenzie's not playing in the midfield either because he's going to be pushed out into some other position. So they have to take positions of these players. And the other challenge is the one player who we really wanted to keep, and we understand why he left, and we're really open with the dialogue with him, in Jack Gunston. He's the one we're really missing because our forward line, we're not able to score as well as we would like at the moment. So he's the one that we're really missing. Our midfield on the weekend against, they're a fantastic team, Sydney, but we broke even at tackles and we won the clearance battle. And if we had have said that, at least there's something going in the right direction. There's a lot of other parts of our game that need significant work.
So did you feel hamstrung by really pleading with him to stay because he just lost his dad and maybe wanted to get away from Melbourne? Was that...
I mean, he's a friend. He's a premiership teammate. We've spent a lot of time together over a long period, and I was just very supportive of whatever decision he made, but telling him that we were desperate to keep him, and he knew right from the start that he was a player that we absolutely wanted at our football club. And unfortunately, for all of his personal reasons, we respected the decision that going up north was for him.
Sam, just on further to Caro's point, you are paying Tom Mitchell and Jago O'Meara to play for other clubs. You won 8 games last year. Why did you need to go both or go so hard in terms of your culling? Like, did you feel that the list was in that poor a position that you need to go that hard? Why couldn't you have kept one of them in a sense to help, as Caro's saying, get a few more wins and be more competitive that you may well be this year?
Well, I think the Tom one was well down the track by that stage, and the Jager one came up late, and really we needed another ruckman as well. So Jager is a fantastic person, great leader, and would have added to the value of our football club. But we've brought in Lloyd Meek, who, he had 8 tackles on the weekend, and we didn't kick too many goals, but he was able to kick one and is having a significant influence himself. So, I mean, it's not the midfield that is our issue right now. It's other areas of the ground.
Sam, you take on North Melbourne under Alistair Clarkson next week. I don't think it's putting too fine a point on it to describe the relationship with Alistair and some people at the club, not talking about players or coaches, toxic. And he is very, very bitter about what happened to him in his last years and months at the footy club. What is going to happen when the 2013 10-year premiership reunion happens this year, and do you think he'll attend? Will you ask him to attend? Will it be up to you to ask him?
I'm not sure. It seems like a very long way away and not something I was expecting to get asked about. But I think when it comes time to reunions, that's a time to look back 10 years ago and look at the journey that you had and all this pain we're going through as a football club right now on the field.
But the board's talking about 5-year plans and wanting cultural improvement as well as footy improvement. Do you think, is it important to fix that relationship of such a pivotal part of your history?
I think that the 2013 premiership will be something that we look at, we watch the game, and we all think about the great moments that we had at that period. And I mean, I hope everyone that was involved in that era is at that event, whenever that is.
And you're coaching against that man this weekend, Sam. So any extra nerves about coming up against Alistair Clarkson? And Caro used the word toxic. Is your relationship with him toxic?
No, my relationship with him isn't toxic at all. But
I'm talking about administrators. I don't think Justin Reeves and Alistair get on very well.
How would you describe your relationship then with Alistair?
Oh, fine. I mean, he's an opposition coach, so that he was a coach of mine for a long period of time, and now we're coach of an opposition. So there's a strangeness about it. But I've got some idea what he's doing, but they're obviously playing some good footy, and it'll be a challenge this week.
Thanks for coming in, and good luck with the journey that you're on. It's brave, and it'll either be a smash hit or we'll be talking about it for a bit longer. But good luck with it.
No worries. Thank you.
Sam Mitchell joining us, the Hawthorn coach.